Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news as another player could be leaving Manchester United. Another experienced player, another big wage moved off by Sir Jim and the Glazers. That's probably what it's all about because this time it's Casemiro. Also, Saudi getting very frustrated with Bruno Fernandes. They've not had their answer. There's talk of the deadline being today, even though earlier on we heard it was in a week's time. They want an answer, and apparently it's not coming in. So, I don't know whether anybody else feels like this, but I've sort of got used to Bruno going now. I think, if I'm being fair and honest, if he stays, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed because I've sort of got used to the fact that we need to move him on. And if he stays, I'm sort of like, I've already moved on. I don't know whether that makes sense. So we've got that to get into as well. A few other bits as well. Early show tonight because it's a Champions League watch along. We'll be over on That's Football for that, of course, as well. And don't forget, tonight we're sponsored by Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. I actually was using my beard trimmer today to have a shave. You can see there, lovely, nice little shave. I was heading down for afternoon drinks in the pub and lovely day in the UK, and I used my beard trimmer, so that's fantastic. I didn't use the lawnmower, but that's maybe I could try it later on. Give Mrs. Goldbridge a treat. Manscaped lawnmower, trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Yes, it's for down there. It's the 2025, we're not hiding from anything. Like, things go on down there and they grow, and that's what it's all about. So trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. He's also got the handyman for a little bit of a tidy up if you're out and about on the go, and the weed whacker for up the nose. So you can get 15% off with Manscaped and free delivery with the code TUS15. Links in the description. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the description. Fantastic products with Manscaped. I've been using them for a couple of years now and I won't ever change. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So you can join the Manscaped Club, trusted by millions of men worldwide. Links in the description or scan the QR code TUS15 to get 15% off and free worldwide delivery wherever you are. India, America, Australia, UK, Mexico. You'll all get free delivery. Check it out. Okay, let's thank Manscaped. Let's get into the show. So, yeah, this report sort of came in a little bit earlier. I'm going to shout out UTD exclusive because this is where I saw it on X, to be fair. Today is the final day for Bruno Fernandes to respond to Al-Hilal's contract offer. The offer he has is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Interesting there, but also just coming in from, I saw it on the United Stands, actually, when I was in the pub. I don't really know the background of this. There are at fanatic.com TR, 1.6 million followers, something to do with Turkey. Besiktas are keen on signing Casemiro this summer. Amrim is open to a departure as he looks to bring in younger profiles in the midfield. Now, Manchester United have been... Oh, this is great as well. We'll talk about this if we've got time. Man United have been named the second most valuable club in the world, only behind Real Madrid, with a value of 4.9 billion based on the 23-24 season. What? I mean, that doesn't include this season, obviously, but what? Yeah, what? Anyway, back to the Casemiro story. If we can offload Casemiro, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Sorry, I am, because he's on 350 grand a week, and I know that's down a little bit because we're not in Europe, but as much as people say, and look, I will never shut up about that brilliance against Lyon. Instead of shooting like every other prat in the team, he pings it to the back post for Harry Maguire and we win the game. That was IQ. That was intelligence. But it's not 300k worth of intelligence. He's going to get worse. He's not particularly quick anymore. He's on the decline, and I would move Casemiro on if I could. I'm not bothered if we move Casemiro on. I just don't expect us to do it. We've been trying to do it for 3 transfer windows, and no one will go anywhere near him because of the wage. And also, Casemiro doesn't want to leave because in 1 year he will make an absolute fortune because he'll be out of contract and be able to go wherever he wants. Man United won't get a transfer fee, and he will, and he'll get a signing on fee. So I don't think Casemiro is going anywhere. I think Man United would love to do it, and I understand why they would love to do it, but Casemiro ain't bloody stupid, is he? He's going to go, I will wait here one more year, and in one more year, I will go for free. The only thing we slightly have with Casemiro is to say it's World Cup year. You ain't going to get picked for Ancelotti's team if you're not playing. But looking at our midfield, he probably still will play a lot. Or will he? Will Casemiro get picked next season? We're not going to play European football. Will he still get picked next season? I don't know. So I think Casemiro will weigh it up and look at the fact that he's in the Brazil squad for Ancelotti's first squad. Obviously, he loves Ancelotti. Will he decide to go or won't he decide to go? Man United would love to get rid of him, by the way. Absolutely would. But I don't really care. I'll be honest. I don't really care. I'm sort of that mentality now. There's very little loyalty to any player after last season. I like some of these players, but I can't sit here and say, let's sell Bruno and then say, don't let Casemiro go or don't let Garnacho go or anybody else. I can't do that anymore. I'm very much of the opinion that season was a complete and utter shit show and nobody deserves immunity. They're all on trial, and if somebody comes up and gives us an offer, we move him on. It's as simple as that. So maybe maybe Casemiro will be next. I think he's got to look at the World Cup, and he's got to be playing regular football. I suppose the intelligent question is Casemiro good enough, considering 90% of our games next season are going to be Premier League games? And people say, well, that's normal. It's not. The percentage of our season that was European games last season was probably 20%. So 90% of our games is going to be, that's not today, it can't have been 20%. That's total arse. You're talking out your arse. But you know what I mean. There's no European football. So 90% of our season next season will be Premier League games. Will Casemiro start in the Premier League? We don't need to rotate. Will he be in our best midfield next season if Bruno stays? Will we pick Casemiro and Bruno as our midfield pivot next year? I think we'll be in bloody big trouble if we do. So he's not guaranteed to be a starter next season with no European football. Maybe he will look to move. I don't know. But if we do move him on, it would be a positive in relation to wages. It would certainly help us out in that situation. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think anybody is off the table when it comes to leaving the football club. Fabrizio Romano in the last hour, by the way, has just put eyes, French flag and MCFC in relation to Turkey. Yes, I will say it. I have been down the pub, so I'm not going to filter myself. What the hell are the Premier League doing? How the hell are Man City going round signing fucking players and the Premier League has still got a fist up its arse? What are they actually doing? This case was meant to be solved in fucking March. We're now in June and they're buying bloody players. You absolute joke. What are you actually doing? If you've lost the case, let everybody know. Don't bury it like a cat burying a crap. You're trying to bury a crap on a marble floor, mate, because we're all going to bloody see it. Just tell us what the answer is. Because I'm getting a little bit irritated about them going round buying players when they're meant to have bloody broken a load of rules. Like, have they broke the rules or haven't they broke the rules? Stop extending it. It's not a bloody table. Tell us the bloody truth. Have you lost the case and mugged yourselves off, or have you won the case? If you've won the case, why are they going around buying fucking players? I find it incredible. I'm surprised people don't have the bloody balls to say it. If Man City have got off, fair play. I'll stand up and applaud them. I'll say well done to Man City if they get off with it, because I'll say every other club for the last 10 years played by the rules and you didn't, and the rules didn't even matter. This is what people don't understand about Man City. If they get off with it, the rules weren't correct. They're clever, everyone else is thick. So if Man City get off with it, I will stand up and applaud them and go, fair fucking play. You saw that these rules wouldn't stand up under any fucking scrutiny and you just did what you wanted to do. And everyone else was like a bunch of prats following rules that weren't real. But if the rules are real, why haven't they bloody done anything about it? How stupid is it that the season is over and Man City are chucking money around and yet they might be about to get a bloody court case go against them that basically puts them into bloody relegation? It's weird. It's really weird. And I just wish they'd sort it out. It's like everyone's forgot about it. Anyway, rant over. Back to the reality. Cherki's going to Man City. That's basically it. Which I know will look, the only reason I mention it is because I don't really give a shit. I never really understood the big thing about Cherki. Maybe I will next season when he's in the Prem. But a lot of you wanted Cherki, so I think it's relevant. Bruno Fernandes. Let me talk to you about Bruno. So effectively, this comes in from Sam C, who used to be part of the United stand. He's moved on. Great lad. All the best for the future, of course, as we've said before. But basically, Al-Hilal and the Saudis are apparently getting very frustrated with Bruno Fernandes. Let me just read this out verbatim. So, Al-Hilal are becoming increasingly impatient surrounding the Bruno Fernandes deal, sources confirm. Bruno has shown signs that he is open to the Al-Hilal project, but obstacles still remain and no formal answer has been given yet. Al-Hilal are aware that time is running out before the Club World Cup, and Barella is among the other options if Bruno Fernandes' deal collapses. The Club World Cup is 2 weeks away and they want to appoint a new manager at the beginning of June and submit the final list of players by June the 10th. Al-Hilal want to complete all signings within a week at most. I understand their frustration. I also understand their ambition. I just think, correct me if I'm wrong, I just think with the Bruno Fernandes stuff, what's going on? Like, what is going on? For 3 weeks now, we've had this story that could have been killed after fucking an hour. It could have been absolutely no, Bruno doesn't want to go, the club don't want to sell, and Amrim doesn't want to sell. And for some reason, we've let this run for 3 weeks. And I'll tell you where Man United have gone wrong. And I'm just going to say this, and people can agree, they can disagree, but this is how I feel. I feel no guilt for what I'm about to say because I've been subjected to this shit show. I have already moved on from Bruno Fernandes. I have already dealt with the fact that he's gone. I've actually dealt with the fact that he's leaving Man United. And if he stays, I'll be honest, I'll say what some people don't want to say. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't leave. And that's not my fault. Because for 3 weeks, nobody at that football club has dealt with it. They've let it drift. They've let it float. And because of that, as fans of this great football club, we've had to deal with something that they've not dealt with. So for 3 weeks, we've had it floating around that Al-Hilal think they're going to get Bruno and Bruno's open to the move. So for 3 weeks, we've had that. I've got every right to go, you know what? You did nothing for 3 weeks. You left it there and I've dealt with it. I've actually come to terms with we should do it and he should leave. And if he doesn't go, I'll be disappointed. And you can't bloody moan about it because if you wanted United fans to be behind the fact that Bruno shouldn't go to Saudi, you should have said in the first fucking day, he's not for sale. He's not for sale. And we all would have gone, up yours, Saudi. You're not getting him. You can't get him. Fair play for trying. He's a brilliant player. He's our player. He ain't going anywhere. But Man United didn't do that. Man United left it for 3 weeks and left us all to go, well, there's obviously something going on. And I have a situation now where I'm sort of like, if he stays at United after all this pissing about for 3 weeks, I would be like, I'm disappointed. I've actually spent the money. I'm actually looked at United without him. I know who the new captain's going to be. I think it's exciting to move on. Let's spend the money on new signings. That's where I'm at. So if Bruno Fernandes ends up staying now, I'm sort of like, so basically, you've been a prick tease for 3 weeks. Not Bruno, the club. You've flirted with this for 3 weeks and then you've done nothing. Nothing. All mouth and no action. And that annoys me. And I'm not driving anything here. That's what they've done. That's what they've done. Imagine all the people who want Garnacho to go. Imagine pre-season tour, he comes back and Amrim says he's staying. You've got every right to be massively pissed off and go, hold on a minute. I've already dealt with the fact that he's leaving. I've already had, you put it out there, he's leaving, this, that and the other. I've dealt with it. And now he's back. Shut up. And that, I think that's fair. United could have done this easily about Bruno. And if he stays now, I'll be disappointed. Great player, great servant, no issue with him. But I've moved on. I've actually dealt with the fact that he's going. If he stays, I'll be honest, I'll be like, Paul Scholes said it brilliantly. Let me read it out. Let me read what Paul Scholes said. You've just reminded me. Brilliant. Absolutely spot on. Listen to this from Paul Scholes. Basically what I said, but he is a legend. They're talking about 100 million for him. United cannot say no to that. I know he's been brilliant and carried the team on his back, but where does he actually play? What is his position? Do you see him as a number 10? Do you see him as a holding midfielder? He almost confuses the whole system. I mean, he has been brilliant, don't get me wrong, but when you're getting 100 million for him, you snap your hands and take it. We have been talking about this for 2 years. Brilliant player, but as Scholesy says, where does he actually fit in? What is his position? Is he a number 10? Is he a holding midfielder? Does he confuse the whole system? Yes. Absolutely yes. We've had this chat for years. He's definitely not a holding midfielder, and he's definitely not a number 10. In Amrim's mind, it doesn't suit the system. He's just a brilliant player that doesn't suit the system. What he is the best captain we've got. What he is a leader, but I don't think he suits the system. I really, really don't. Unfortunately, Man United will have a painful summer window, says Lee Payne. All our targets going elsewhere. It will be option C or D. Same as what happened to Ten Hag last summer. 3 weeks of talks with different managers, and then after all that, signed the new contract. You know what, KMD? We did talk about this, didn't we, last week? It does feel very similar to the Ten Hag situation, where the fans get used to the fact that maybe he's going and then they keep him. I wanted Ten Hag to stay. Some of you will want Bruno to go, but it's the same situation again. They don't learn. They put out a really big story and they don't deal with it, and then you split the fan base. Mark, oil me up, says Lord Farquhar. Okay. If we still have Casemiro and Bruno as our sixes next year, then we're in big trouble, says Daz. We have enough floaters in the squad already, says Mike. I want him to go 100 million and 350k a week, says Keel. When is the new financial year, Mark? Also, did you see Bruno Pinky promise that he's staying? Thanks for what you're doing, says Kenzo. I did see that, but I think my feeling is he will stay now. But I'm sort of like moved on from it, like I said. Financial year for football starts on July the 1st. FIFA have asked the EPL to wait on the City decision until after the Club World Cup, says Nidge. Schick or Boniface since they played 3 at the back, says Rhythm. Casemiro drawing pension before he goes, says Mike. I'm 19, not seen the glory days. Makes me feel so shitty after sticking through all the crap. As fans deserve the world for our loyalty, says Daniel Sturtridge. Hope you're doing well, Daniel. Vlakovic is welcome to the members club. Mr. Mark, please just explain one for me. Why aren't we going for Osman? I think it's money, chicken, to be honest with you. Poor Mrs. Goldbridge, says Jared. Why? She's living the dream. United like to farm the news. It's the only evidence they can show to investors and sponsors that they're still a big club, says Z. Thank you very much for that. The club's uncertain positioning of Bruno reflects holes in the squad. Yeah, okay. Well, look, brilliant show tonight. It was only a that was ridiculously quick. That was ridiculously quick. That wasn't even 20 minutes. That's not even foreplay. But I've got to get over to the Champions League. It's Champions League watch along. I take total blame for this because I was down the pub and I was a little bit late. But we are going to be live on the Champions League, so don't worry about that. And if anything comes in later, I'll go live again. But let's get over to the Champions League one. It's going to be great because I've already had a few and I've got a few lined up. And also, I promise it will be a great stream because I'll just keep carrying on with those. So it will turn into a great show. I'm not going to stop. We never stop. There was something else I was going to say as well. No, I've forgotten what it was. But I will see you over on the That's Football show in about 2 minutes. So thanks, everyone. See you later. Let's get hammered.